Since last year's election, our country has seen a rise in hate which has tested our nation and its commitment to equality and equal justice.
Jews will not replace us!
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Jews will not replace us!
Our nation has been tested by white supremacy and Islamophobia being used as a basis for policymaking.
Heimbach says the president has been an inspiration.
We have witnessed an unprecedented spike in hate incidents targeting American Muslims and their institutions.
More than 500% surge of anti-Muslim hate crimes across the country over the past few years.
Hate crimes against Muslims in the United States went up 57% from 2015 to 2016.
This administration has also promoted hatred and bigotry towards the Hispanic and Latino community.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Given the divisive and discriminatory rhetoric that characterized the 2015-2016 election cycle, CAIR, Accord, Unite Here 11, and a large group of mosques and Latino organizations came together to increase collaboration between these two communities. These discussions led to the formation of the Muslim Latino Collaborative. This year also marked the 75th anniversary of the executive order calling for the incarceration of Japanese Americans.
CAIR and our partners hosted over 150 members of the community on our annual trip to Manzanar.
Through MLC, Muslim Day at the Capitol, and our other leadership training events, we are working with our diverse partners across the country to build a pipeline of community leaders and youth with the power building and advocacy training necessary to bring forth just laws and policies.
CAIR staff and hundreds of community members are able to engage with political officials at the local, state, and federal levels.
CAIR gathered over 800 individuals at the state capitol this year. Our presence at the Capitol enabled us to push for SB 54 and SB 31. This engagement with political officials resulted in bills being signed by the governor that will protect Muslim and immigrant communities throughout the state of California. CAIR's advocacy reach extends to the national level, with hundreds of Muslim leaders and activists taking part in the CAIR-coordinated National Day on the Hill in Washington, D.C.
Lastly, we at CAIR understand that we are often the last line of defense for the civil rights of the Muslim community.
In the past year, CAIR has brought civil rights litigation, including a successful $85,000 settlement against the city of Long Beach, where police had forcibly removed a sister's hijab. Finally, we have served as legal counsel to countless individuals who were the targets of school bullying, hate crimes, and discrimination.
As an indication of CAIR's growing prominence, a study by an independent media monitoring service showed that over the past year, CAIR's civil rights and advocacy work was mentioned in more than 90,000 news articles with the potential audience of more than $15 billion and an advertising value of more than $140 million. With increased prominence comes increased responsibility. Over the past year, CAIR has dealt with more than 1,000 legal cases in the greater Los Angeles area and over 5,000 cases nationwide. On January 27th, President Trump announced a Muslim ban, which politicians, CAIR, and communities immediately sprang to action against.
Senator Elizabeth Warren joined the Council on American Islamic Relations and the ACLU to speak against the temporary ban on all refugees as well as immigrants from 7 countries.
He is even trying to shut the door on people who are here legally.
Immediately following the announcement of the Muslim ban on January 27th, CAIR LA was present at LAX to address the detention of individuals from Muslim-majority countries. We helped lead the protest at the airports and immediately challenged the ban in federal court. These efforts helped block the first version of the Muslim ban.
A federal judge is putting a temporary stop to some of the most important parts of President Donald Trump's executive order banning citizens from 7 Muslim-majority countries from entering the U.S.
In the days following the Muslim ban, we added a 24-hour hotline to respond to calls from community members in emergency situations and held Know Your Rights panels at masjids, community centers, and college campuses across the greater Los Angeles area.
We've also taken hundreds of calls from concerned community members that want to know how these Muslim bans are affecting travel. The number of cases that we've had have skyrocketed, and we've tried to address in as many ways as we can the concern of community members who need assistance with their immigration cases.
CAIR once again took immediate action when the president brought forth a second version of the ban in March, bringing an end to the ban's injustice and discrimination.
Breaking news, a second defeat for the White House on the president's travel ban. This is CNN Tonight. I'm Don Lemon. A federal judge in Hawaii blocks the new travel ban just hours before it was supposed to go into effect.
When the third ban was announced, CAIR continued its relentless advocacy.
We commit to continue to challenge any abuses by this administration, whether it's in media, in the street, or in court, whatever is necessary to ensure that our Constitution is upheld, to protecting all people in America.
We say no to the wall, no to the Muslim ban, no to the targeting of immigrants, no to anti-black racism, no to the targeting of any community.
The LA chapter of the Council on American-Islamic Relations and a coalition of partner organizations are standing in solidarity for all Muslims, immigrants, and refugees to protest President Donald Trump's latest travel ban.
The judge has now blocked the third version of President Trump's travel ban just before this modified version was supposed to take effect.
Every time the White House revises this travel ban, and it was supposed to go into effect tomorrow, a federal judge finds a way really to stop it in its tracks.
It is so easy for a community that is being targeted to feel disheartened and feel sometimes alone. But the reality is, from where we're at CAIR, we have seen unprecedented type of and level of support from media, from politicians, from interfaith leaders who have made it clear that they will not leave the Muslim community alone, that they stand with this community in challenging all forms of injustice and bigotry. And for that, we're very grateful and thankful.
This has been a historic time in our nation's history and in that of the American Muslim community. We ask you to join us in making a better future for our families, our community, and our country.
Freedom does not defend itself. It needs someone like you and CAIR to work together to secure the future of freedom for American Muslims and everyone in this country.